Karen called the FBI to my farm, but I'm a senior FBI agent she shouldn't have messed with. My name is Samuel Ridge, and for the past 20 years, I've been on the front lines of national security, working cases that never make the news and writing protocols that most agents only follow. I've also got a soft spot for heirloom tomatoes and silence. That's why I took early retirement from the Washington field office and bought 18 acres just outside of Hollow Pines, a sleepy town with more goats than residents and a landscape untouched by bureaucracy. I traded surveillance vans for soil, intel briefings for irrigation. But the one thing I didn't leave behind my badge, and I never expected I'd need it to defend my farm from a nosy neighbor with a fake HOA and too much time on her hands. Karen Whitmore. The name still makes my eye twitch. She lived in the new subdivision just beyond the tree line. You know, the kind pristine sidewalks, beige fences, and plastic smile patrols. Her yard looked like a catalog page. Her tone like she ran the FBI. She didn't. I did. It started small, at least. For her. A note slipped into my gatepost. You appear to be running unauthorized activity behind the tree line. The HOA will be investigating all equipment and storage structures. I chuckled. Tossed it. A week later, I found my motion-triggered barn camera torn down. She'd crossed the fence and tampered with federal-grade surveillance equipment. I filed a report not to press charges, but to document her. I wanted a record, because I knew people like Karen. I've interrogated them in dark rooms overseas, just not ones armed with a clipboard and a suburban militia fantasy. Then came the FBI, not my team, not my people. 3 Bureau SUVs rolled up my gravel driveway with Karen practically skipping behind them. I was tending to my greenhouse, hands muddy, face sunburnt. I stood when I saw the badge flash. Mr. Ridge, we've received a report of unauthorized electronic surveillance operations, possibly tied to domestic intel activity, originating from this property. I raised an eyebrow. I'm going to need to see the report, I said. One of the agents hesitated. The informant flagged multiple high-frequency antenna structures, encrypted communications logs, and irregular farming patterns. Karen beamed. Told you. I turned slowly. You called the FBI on me because of my greenhouse. She folded her arms. You don't belong here. Nobody runs surveillance towers and grows cucumbers on the same property. We deserve to know what's happening. One of the agents stepped forward, a little sharper now. Sir, we're going to ask you to step away from your barn. I didn't. Instead, I pulled out my wallet, flipped it open, and handed them my credentials. Samuel Ridge, Senior Supervisory Special Agent, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Counterintel Division. They froze. Karen didn't get it yet. Fake. That's fake. He built that shed with satellite dishes on top. The lead agent looked up from my ID. Then he looked back at her. Ma'am, you just tried to trigger a federal raid on a federal agent. Turns out Karen had compiled an entire dossier on me. Photos of my barn, diagrams of where I kept my equipment, phone logs she tried to analyze. All of it was junk. Except one thing: intent. She'd faked HOA authority, impersonated federal jurisdiction, and filed a false report through a backdoor contact who worked at a private intel contractor. That meant conspiracy. I didn't even have to arrest her. The agents she called did. The fallout came fast. The local paper published the story under the headline, Fake HOA President Reports, FBI Agent Gets Arrested by Real Agents. Instead, people were furious, not just at her, but at the way she'd harassed neighbors for months. She'd fined a veteran down the road for flying a flag too high, claimed the beekeeper next door was running an unlicensed weapons lab. She was on a crusade for control, but karma doesn't come with a clipboard. It comes with federal charges. Karen pled guilty to filing a false report to a federal agency and impersonating a municipal authority. She's banned from holding any HOA-related title in the state of Virginia for life. The fake HOA dissolved. The land's still growing tomatoes and still watching. Because my barn, yeah, it looks like a shed, but it also scans wideband, just in case the next Karen thinks they're smarter than a man who helped write the Patriot Act's field enforcement clause. Some fences are there to keep livestock in, some are there to keep secrets safe, but mine now does both. For the end.